I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red blast, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave. fights you and me. The name of the fray, we are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save, this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star, spangled banner, yeah, for the land of the free, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Max Speed TV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 3 for Pure Speed Elite Series here at Homestead Miami Speedway. This highly regarded venue in the NASCAR schedule always holds great racing and competitive driving. With Austin Reedy and John Honeycutt securing wins so far this season, who will we see in victory lane here tonight? Stay tuned to find out, as I am here with Jordan McGraw in the booth. I want to give a shout out to Madison Rising for the amazing national anthem. They do a fabulous job. But we got Jordan back in the booth here. How you doing tonight, Jordan?
I'm doing great. Ready to watch some exciting racing, and watching these guys in practice, it's definitely going to be exciting.
Absolutely. You know what? And I know you were out there. I've been out there. It's going to be slippery tonight. Conditions were under the lights tonight. It's going to be a little slippery as these guys get ready to head to qualifying. They have 9 minutes left, but tell me, Jordan, what can we expect here tonight?
Like you said, slick, 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 slick. The track is very, very treacherous right now. With these conditions, the setup, everything mixed together for a potpourri of a concoction, that will create some tough conditions these drivers are going to have to overcome to win this race, to stay green, to keep off of each other, to take care of each other. The track really slick, especially on cold tires. Turns 3 and 4 seem to be a little worse than 1 and 2, but otherwise, this is gonna be a tough one for these drivers to hold on to this thing.
I think so. We already have a couple on the board already. We have the number 50. It looks like 31.3. I think that's the 50. The 17 in second so far with a 31.5. But a lot of these guys, I think we're going to see some of them riding up high during the race. There's going to be a little bit more grip as others are going to try to go for that time and try to gain on others and take the low line. But man, it is very, very slick out there. We have 100 laps to go tonight in the race. So, you know, there's a lot of racing to be had, but I think we're going to see a couple of cautions tonight. It's pretty crazy out there, so it'll be a fun race. It's Homestead, Miami, but these guys are in for a challenge. Let's take a look at the top 10 points right here so far. We're on round number 3. We have Austin Reedy, who just came back from a win last week. He's in first, with Andrew Wisdom tied for second with James Hudson and Edward Schur. We have John Honeycutt in 5th with Matthew O'Brien in 6th, John Holliday in 7th, Jaden Gimble in 8th, and Michael Kenzel and Chandler Hayden tied for 9th. Very close out here for the top 10, but we'll see how that makes everything scramble up a little bit after tonight. I think we're going to see a little bit of that happen, but from what I'm hearing, Austin Reedy is going to be very strong out there. It'll be interesting to see, Jordan.
It will right now. Currently, Austin Reedy sitting 6th in qualifying with the times that have been put up. Brad Herman currently on that provisional pole. 17 drivers have gone out there and put a time down. That lane and a half off the white line seems to be where most of these drivers are running, finding the most grip, trying to run these fast lap times. As we're riding aboard with Edward Schurer right now, as he's making his first laps around the racetrack. Just really treacherous. You have to run fast, but you have to be real smooth with the steering, real smooth with the throttle to keep that rear end under you. Schurer running a little bit higher than we've seen some of the other drivers, such as Andrew Wisdom moving around. He moved up to second. He has a current front row position. Schurer right now looking to do the same.
We'll see what happens, but these guys will be all over the wheel tonight. As you see, it looked like the 5 got a little loose coming off the exit there, and we're going to see a lot of that, especially going into 3 and coming out of 4. They're going to have a tough time there, but so far, everyone looks like they are holding on to it. I do want to give a shout out to everyone who's watching, for the follows, for everyone chatting in there. We all appreciate it, and for Michael in the booth, who's doing an amazing job at Max Speed TV, a huge shout out to you. But thank you guys for everything. It's great having you out here, and you're in for a treat tonight. It's going to get crazy, and I'm excited about it. We have 5 minutes left in qualifying. Still plenty of time for those who have not gone out yet to get that time, but I'm curious, are we going to have any guys stay out and just hang in the back and see what kind of chaos ensues as we have the 31 of Marcus Adams out leading on the board with a 31.163. And the number 6 of Andrew Wisdom just behind them with a 31.169, Jordan.
5 thousandths currently separating our top 2 as we watch Jaden Gimble make a lap around there, running that high line, getting really, really loose, trying to hold on to that thing. He's going to put up the 16th place time, and he's going to be done here. So right now, 20 drivers have made a lap. Only 3 drivers who put down a practice time have not made a lap. So we'll have to see if that is all we're going to try to go out there. If those 3 back there, maybe they don't want a piece of qualifying. They just want to start in the back, take it real easy, and watch the mayhem unfold in front of them. But whew, this is going to be a wild and woolly one.
Absolutely. Pure Speed Elite Series here for Season 2, Round 3 at Homestead Miami Speedway. Last week, if you guys recall, we had a lot of fog at Auto Club. You could even see the cars really on track. It was insane. So last week, we thought it was loose there. That holds nothing compared to what we're seeing here tonight. It is super loose conditions. A very awesome track, though. I love it out here. Let's take a look at the tire window and what we have for a race analysis. Tire window, we have about 25 to 30 laps with the fuel. They can hold out a little bit longer at 42. Pit road's going to be about 60 mile per hour tonight. A little bit of wind out there, but it shouldn't affect them too much. And we're not seeing the fog, Jordan.
We're not seeing the fog, but that 13 mile an hour wind out of the east could be part of what's making these guys so loose. We'll have to see and monitor that. But I'm excited to see how this goes in a pack, because these drivers have been all over the place in practice. They were all over the place in qualifying. They're about to be all over the place in the race. Hopefully they can stay green while doing it, and we can watch some fun driving, because a track that is tough to drive, that leads to a lot of comers and goers, and that loves the kind of racing that drivers enjoy and that fans enjoy, where it's them against the car as much as it is against their other competitors.
Absolutely. And, with the challenges that we saw last week and tonight, these guys are already getting tested quite a bit. I mean, we saw Reedy and Marcus Adams battle it out there last week, and so far it looks like tonight we're going to see them battle it out here tonight, along with Andrew Wisdom and a few others. So I'm excited to see what these guys are going to bring out on track. It's going to be an exciting night tonight in racing. We're under the lights. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, these drivers have not gotten a break. They had to deal with the plate racing, the style anyway, the plate style, pack racing at Daytona, and then they had to deal with a dust storm and a rather slick track at Auto Club last week, and now the ice rink that is Homestead Miami Speedway. Not a really tough set of 3 races to start off the season for these drivers.
As these guys are coming out here, I want to take a look and see if we can get Marcus Adams on the line here. Marcus, it is Eliza in the booth. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
How's the car handling for you?
It's very loose. Surprised since it's not 100% fuel.
Yeah, that's the condition I'm seeing tonight. I ran it myself. Very, very loose. Can you tell us what strategy do you have going into tonight?
Really just get used to trying to race competitively since I've not really done it in like the last month. So just trying to figure that out.
Absolutely.
Try to outrun everyone.
Well, you were battling it out there last week. Really fun to see. I wish you a lot of luck tonight, and it looks like you did great in qualifying, so we'll see you out on track.
Payback from last week.
All right, you heard it there from Marcus Adams in the number 31. Great time for him. We'll see the qualifying times. He is going to be the pole sitter tonight with a really quick time of 31.1. You see the times rounding out there with the number 6 going to be on the outside. We're getting ready to go to the race, Jordan.
Absolutely, and you look at the disparity, two drivers in the ones, only separated by that 5,000th, that half a hundredth, and then we have a couple of drivers in the twos, and then we go all the way back to the threes, and really most of the field is in the fours on back. So the top 6 or so are pretty separated from the rest of the field as far as that fast lap time goes.
Absolutely. I do want to give another quick shout out to Hall out there. You guys doing the subs and the bits. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys saw the top 10 right there for the point standings so far. This is just the beginning of this season. There's still a ton to do out there, a lot of movement going on in points. And tonight, I think it's going to shake things up even more. But these guys are getting ready to go on grid, so we will line them up, and you'll see our pole sitter out there of Marcus Adams in that 31 with the outside of Andrew Wisdom. They're getting ready to go to racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cars popping up on the grid. We're so close to getting the grid walk and then getting out on track for an exciting evening at Homestead.
Here we go. You can see everyone lining up as we have our pole sitter of the 31 of Marcus Adams. He's going to be leading us with Andrew Wisdom in that 6. He's going to be on the outside. In row 2, we have Brad Herman in that 85 with Cole Martin in the 89. Row 3, we have Matthew O'Brien in that number 17 with Kyle Benson looking very strong tonight. He's going to be in that 4 car. Row 4, we have Austin Reedy. He's in that 11 with Justin Mons in the 41. Row 5, we have John Honeycutt with a 31.4 with the 48 of Michael York.
Row 6, we have Corey Andon in 11th with Chris Gutierrez in 12th in the 02. Row 7 is Doc Holliday alongside Kelly Mellinson. Edward Schur on the inside of row 8. On the outside of him is Jaden Gimble. Chandler Hayden in the 66 is on the inside of Richard Rico in the 18. Brandon Gillis will be alongside Jason Keller in row 10.
Row 11th, we have Christopher Fafke, and on the outside of that, we have the 86 of Tristan Bailey. Row 12, looks like the final thing, we're going to have NNR Chevy. We'll see what happens for these guys, but that is your field for tonight. It's going to be wild and crazy as these guys are pacing around. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a blast watching this. I know we have a lot of fun in the booth, so I'm ready for some racing tonight here at Homestead, Miami. These guys are coming around, and we're getting ready as Marcus Adams in that 31 will be leading us off. And here they go. They're getting those belts fastened and tight on the wheel. And here we go, Homestead Speedway. We are green, and here we go. Marcus Adams to the lead. We have the 6 car on the outside. These guys already you're going to have to make sure that you have a good hold on the wheel, as it is going to be super cold out there. The tires are. You got to warm them up, and you just got to hold on for the ride.
Yeah, cold tires is when this track is at its most treacherous, especially when you go down to turn 3 at speed, but these drivers doing a great job of holding on to it. You see the 6 of Andrew Wisdom get a little tail happy on exit. That's going to allow the 31 to grow that lead as the 85 of Brad Herman looks to the inside.
Brad Herman on the inside. These guys are going side by side. They're looking really good so far, and I can tell you something, that is going to be hard to do going side by side at this track tonight. It is super slippery, but so far you can see right behind them, they are side by side, but as they are doing that, Marcus Adams, he's putting a little bit of a gap between him and the second place, and what a battle for second place. But Marcus Adams, we saw him have a couple of incidents in practice. Right now, he's looking very solid, Jaden.
Yeah, this was something we saw last week. Adams kind of maybe drove it a little bit hard at the beginning of that final run and fell back, faded through the field. But that was because he was racing other drivers by himself. He can go out here, he can set his own pace with the gap that he has created. He can take care of his tires, and that's what he needs. That's what he's probably looking to do here. Try to take care of his stuff while the drivers behind him, the 85 and the 6, are battling really hard with each other. I think they're giving each other a decent amount of room, but still side by side, neither one getting a real a hold on that position, on that second position. The 6 fighting back with that momentum on the outside. The 85 holding on to the bottom, which that bottom is probably the most treacherous part of these corners. It's not a lot of grip down there, but the 85 makes it work, clears the 6, move Herman into second.
Wow, what a battle as he did a slide job to get up in front of him. And we have our first caution out there. Let's see what happened out here as we get the replay up and running. I saw just a glimpse of it. It looks like the 15, he is out there. That is Corey Andon. We saw him in an incident last week too. Just gets loose. I'm telling you, it's just gonna be, we're gonna see a lot of that tonight. Maybe some one-car incidents, hopefully not gathering anyone up. But Jordan, that's just the type of thing we're gonna see tonight, unfortunately.
It is, and it looks like the 6 of Brandon Gillis was caught up in that. The 20 of Jaden Gimble and the 22 of Jason Keffer looked like they got a part of it. The 6 slid around in the back. Not sure if he locked them up and spun out or got tagged by somebody, but 4 cars here rather heavily damaged at the very least in this incident early on lap 6.
First, we have Brandon Gillis, and 22nd will be Corey Andon, who was involved in that. Just lost it coming out of the turn. You can see a lot of damage for him. Man, yeah, he's going to have to go in. They do have one fast repair, so that is something that he's going to have to use at this point, unless he feels that he can just stay clean the rest of the race. It's going to be interesting to see, but we're going to see him go into pit road, try to fix that damage, and we'll see him off and running once again.
Yeah, and with that amount of damage, he's going to have to use that fast repair that he probably would have wanted to hold on to, but with that, he's not going to be competitive at all. He's going to lose a bunch of laps, and that'll take away any chance he has to get a strong finish in this race. So, smart idea, use it, and then just hope that you can make it the 93, 94 remaining laps of this race without damaging the cars. We see the 31 on pit road. The leaders have hit pit road here. I think they're going to want tires every opportunity they can. Almost gets beat out by the 6, but Marcus Adams will continue to lead, and Andrew Wisdom will be second in that race off of pit road.
Absolutely. Our top 3 guys, as you said, did go into pit. Very interesting to pit this early, but with tire wear and everything else going on for these guys, I think it's a great call that they went in and just try to keep the tires up and hold on to what you can. Let's see if we can get Kyle Benson in the booth up here. Let's try to get him. Kyle Benson, do we have a copy? This is Eliza in the booth.
Yes, I do.
All right. How's it going for you out there so far?
Oh, it's going all right. You know, I mean, with it being a little looser than usual, it's just kind of adjusting to the looseness and just trying to get some green flag laps here.
Absolutely. Any strategy as we head back to green soon?
Definitely. Don't worry. The strategy socks will come out, so just be on the aisle for that one.
I will be on the lookout. Lots of luck to you tonight. Looking good so far.
Thank you.
All right, you heard it there from Kyle Benson. He is with Team JGM. Looking good, and he's going to be starting out in third as he comes back off of pit road. Great start for him so far here tonight. We will have Marcus Adams leading us back to green once again.
The strategy socks. I don't know if I've ever heard of the strategy socks
That's
before,
a new
but
one.
but they're he's gonna slip them on, and I guess all the way up to the knee here, and we're gonna go green here and see what kind of strategy, what kind of rabbit he's gonna pull out of the hat. But that was a much tamer start to the race than I figured. These drivers did a great job of taking care of each other, but like we saw last week at Auto Club, after that first yellow, we had a rash of them as drivers had a little bit of confidence, maybe a little bit of overconfidence. We'll see if that happens again here this week at Homestead, or if we can have another good, clean start and get even more green flag laps in this time around.
Absolutely. For everyone who let us know. What driver are you rooting for tonight as we are coming back to green flag racing? Marcus Adams will lead us off, and you can see he's got a nice little lead here as they go 2 by 2 all the way through. These guys are off and running. Marcus Adams with, man, what a nice lead for him. Will he be able to hold on to it? Will they battle it out for second like we saw before? Who knows, Jordan?
We're on now a nice single file line. The top 5 cars, top 6 cars, everyone else from there on back still fighting side by side. The 85, we had seen him be able to move up into the top, right into that second position, but not a great pit stop, not a great pit sequence. Oh, the 31 had an issue, it looked like, off of turn 4, I believe. He lost a ton of ground. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom's going to try to cross him over here, and we have a battle for the lead. The 6 looking inside the 31.
Here we go for the battle, and the number 6 is going to take over the lead, but will he be able to hold off Marcus Adams, who has a strong car tonight? Got a little loose coming off the turn there, but man, that 6 of Andrew Wisdom looking strong, and he is out in the lead. We'll see how many he can lead here tonight. Take a look at this battle. Absolutely insane. First and second on top of each other. A little bit of a gap between second and third, about 0.4 back, and that is Kyle Benson in that 4 car as we have a side-by-side battle for the lead. Marcus Adams is not going to be able to hold on to. He's going to tuck behind the number 6. We'll see if he can make it back up there. You know he's going to try, but the thing is, the more you try, the more you're going to wear those tires down. So he really has to just take a step back and say, hey, maybe I'm just going to drive behind you for a minute. But he's also got some hungry guys behind him, Jordan.
Yeah, and he mentioned in that interview we had with him before the race that he was just trying to kind of relearn that racing around other drivers, that long-form style of racing, of 250 miles, 200 miles that they're running tonight. So maybe that's part of the old strategy here as he's driving hard. Maybe that's something that he's overlooking right now. We saw that last week. He drove a little bit hard at Auto Club and it ended up costing him a few spots. He's looking right underneath the 6. We were riding on board with him there. Not a lot of room on corner exit. He's going to try to make that pass here and retake the lead.
Absolutely. Oh, what do you see?
They, I think, made a little bit of contact.
Very, very close out here as these guys are side by side. The 6 has a nose out. We're going to see him back to the lead as he is on the high side. He's going to bring it down low. Marcus Adams going to be directly behind him. But man, oh man, these two are just battling it out. But as Jordan was saying, he's going to have to, figure out how to be doing these long runs and race for it. But he is too hungry. He wants this lead and he is going to go for it. Going down to the bottom, though, it will get you loose, and he's going to have to use up a lot of the track compared to the 6 on that high side, getting that beautiful run as we see on that high side.
Yeah, the bottom is the short way around, but there's not a lot of grip. You have that driver on outside of you, so you're trying to get woed down. The car is tight, but at the same time, there's not that much rear grip, so it's loose. It's a monster to hold it down there underneath somebody, especially with the 6. Right now, he's giving him a little bit of room, but he's not giving him a lot of room. It looks like the 6 just running a nice conservative line while also a rather defensive one. It's
Oh.
31 super loose again. Marcus Adams wanting that lead. He is trying to get it, as we also have a battle for second right now, or a battle for third, I should say. So right now, our top 4 currently 2 by 2 as they head onto the back.
Yeah, what a battle for the top 4 here. These guys battling it out for first and second, but man, oh man, Marcus Adams, as Jordan was saying, getting super loose, and these guys really cutting it close, as we're seeing in chat. Maybe a little bit of contact as the 6 goes up high, and Marcus Adams pulls a slide job directly in front of the 6. Absolutely insane there. Very close call for these guys, but they are on the move in single file once again.
Yeah, I think Andrew Wisdom knew what Adams, that he wanted that lead. I think he let him go once it looked like he was going to get clear. Let him go down the front straight, slide in line, and try to take care of his stuff. Maybe he thinks he'll get back to him later in this run. The 85 was able to fend off the fight from the 11, so move him back into third. And currently our top 4 looking like Marcus Adams, Andrew Wisdom, Brad Herman, and Austin Reedy, last week's winner. So Reedy doing everything he can to go back-to-back here at Homestead.
Absolutely. He's looking very strong out here. You can see gap. We have this first section of cars, and then behind them, a little bit of gap, and then we have a second pack of cars here. We have Justin Mons in that 41 with the 50 of John Honeycutt directly behind him. These guys racing really well so far here tonight. You see the 5 of Edward Schur directly behind him. So pack of 4 driving together. These guys can really work together to try to make their way up front. Not really challenging each other, just trying to hold on to their car, trying to work together and make it up front more.
Yeah, Edward Schur started 15th up to 9th, so a very strong start to this race after a qualifying session that he probably didn't like too much, but right now the race going a lot better for him as he's running a nice smooth line behind John Honeycutt, who looks really loose to the center of 3 and 4. Right now running a rather defensive line, or maybe he's going to let Edward Schur take that outside line, which is right now the preferred one. Honeycutt slides up in front of Schur. Schur is going to look low, have both the run and the position on the 50. The 50 is going to get a little bit of a draft toe down the straightaway. We're going to see if the 5 packs it down in there. He's going to be in that bottom line that's treacherous. He's also going to lose the nose because that car in front of him, it slid down, took the nose off of it.
And FTR seems to be a fan favorite out here tonight. Edward Schur in that 5 car, you can see him. Started 15th, and he is up to 9th at the moment, running around 32 sevens out here in traffic. So these guys just side by side, and you know, you have to just give each other some room as he just pulls right in front of John Honeycutt. John Honeycutt is going to go down low, trying to make it work down there. You know, you're going to find any line that's going to work for you tonight, whether it be up high, whether it's down low. It's just what is working for your car at the moment. Remember, guys, 25 to 30 laps these guys can run on tires. Fuel can last a little bit longer, but tire wear is just so much, they're going to have to go in sooner than later.
They are up in front of Honeycutt now, the 5 of Edward Schur. He's trying to pick off another one. He's on the inside of Justin Mons. And another thing these drivers are searching around for is clean air. This track is already lacking in grip. You get behind another car, and that really tightens it up. So they're fighting a very, very Jekyll and Hyde balance right now, as Mons was able to hold off the challenge from Schur for the moment. Mons will stay in 7th, Schur in 8th. A strong battle there in the top 10. A little bit further back, we're looking at Jaden Gimble, who was mired in 16th place, started 17th, looked really good in practice, had a really strong time. You can see that car doesn't have a hood on it, so he must have opted to not use his fast repair yet. He wants to just ride this out, repair what he can, and hope that he doesn't get lapped. We're looking at a very long green flag run here. That strategy might backfire for him here, as he is already 10 seconds back of the leader. Just only a handful of laps into this race.
Absolutely. A long race definitely to be had, but we're on board with 18 of Richard Rico. He started 18th and P14th right now. He's got Doc Holliday directly in front of him in that 88. These guys have known each other for a while. We'll see what they can do, but so far a single file line for these guys. But man, they are off pace and they are back a little bit. I'm not sure if it's just tire issues and how slick the conditions are, or possibly an incident that happened with somebody getting loose and they're just saving it and moving on.
We're following a nice little line here. Not really a challenge. The 18 getting a bit of a run on on Doc Holliday, I should say. Holliday packs it into the corner, makes up a lot of ground. You can see 3 very different entries into that turn. A lot of about the same line, but each carried different amounts of speed. The 18 gets a really good run as the 88 falls off of the 15. The 88 really driving into the corners hard. He's making up a lot of time on entry, but he's losing on exit. It looks like these drivers that he's currently racing with, and he's going to be under fire down the back straight from that 18 of Richard Rico.
Absolutely. Richard going to have that run off and going to be able to pass him going into the turn. Will he be able to hold on to that? The 88, you know, we have different strategies going into the turn. There's some that just send it in and then let off, as we saw Doc Holliday. It does not get you that runoff that you need, though. Some of them, they back up the entry and kind of glide it, roll it through, and they're able to get that run off. Totally different strategies here, as Jordan was saying. These guys are starting to spread out just a little bit, and that will allow for some mistakes to happen here. But man, a long race to be had as we are on lap 27 of 100.
We're looking back at the leader, Marcus Adams, but that second place car, we have a new one. The 11 of Austin Reedy has moved into second from his 7th place starting position. So last week's winner is currently stalking our leader, Marcus Adams. Reedy currently, he was 0.39 back last lap. He's 0.40 this previous one. So lost a 100th there that previous lap. We'll see where he shakes out this time. But right now, he was great on the long run last week. Actually lost a lot of time that time. Marcus Adams scratched it out a 10th and a half on him. But right now, the 11 car was one of the strongest that we saw last week at Auto Club. That was where he was able to walk the dog on the field. Right now, Adams, as hard as he drove at the beginning of this run, making some great lap time out of the lead.
Yeah, Reedy is definitely on the move, but as we are looking at this, he has fallen back just a little bit more. We'll see if, you know, anyone can catch him from behind. That would be Andrew Wisdom in that number 6. But Marcus, he seems to be getting a handle on his car out here.
He gained another 2.5 tenths there, so a quarter of a second. So Reedy, he got out to second, worked his way up there, and now the car seems to have faded a little bit as Andrew Wisdom is actually making up some ground on him in that 3rd spot. So we're about to have another battle for second, which is just what Adams wants. He's had clean track, clean sailing, no one side by side with him for a while now. He wants that. He wants those drivers behind him to be fighting tooth and nail and using up their stuff.
And, you know, right now, single file line, these guys are just going at it, doing their own thing, making sure that they can save those tires. We will have to have pit stops pretty soonish, I would imagine. We did have that caution earlier on, and a lot of guys did go onto pit road to get new tires, and that was our top 3 that we saw on pit road earlier. Tire window is 25 to 30 with the fuel around 42. We'll see what these guys can do, but so far, single file line and the gap is growing, Jordan.
Yeah, it's growing. Adams is really starting to pull away once the 11 caught him. Either Adams had been taking it easy, cooling down and stuff, and then once he got a challenge, he decided to grow that gap. Maybe the 11, all the battling he's done, working his way from that 7th place starting spot, that either caught up to him, or maybe he just caught some air off of the 31 and it threw out his rhythm. The car got a little tight as the 14 gives a lot of room to our leader as we are running into lap traffic here. Kelly Mellinson goes a lap down. There are 19 cars currently on the lead lap.
Kyle Benson making his way through 5 of Edward Schur. He is right below him, taking the low line. He's going to tuck in behind that 4 car. That is the battle for 5th right now, so we'll see what he can do. But man, oh man, the 5 is putting the pressure on the 4 of Kyle Benson. We'll see if he can make the pass. It might take him a couple of laps. The tires are wearing down. These guys are just trying to find any line that's going to work for them. The 4 looks pretty confident on that high side, though. Beautiful run off, and that is just allowing him the momentum that he needs to get into the next turn.
Yeah, this 5 is having a very impressive run, starting 15th, and the way this is he's able to, almost, he had the 4 clear for a moment, opted not to the 14, diving down to the very, very bottom of the racetrack. The 5 is going to try to pack it in there and clear that 4 car. Not going to be able to do it. I think the 4 is a little better than him through 3 and 4, but the 5 is a lot better than him through 1 and 2. They're going to go down to the corner. I think the 5 is going to be able to make the pass here, but I'm not 100% confident that I'm going to be right there. We're going to see if I jinxed it or not.
Looks like he's going to have the speed, but I don't know if he's going to be able to take the move, and there he does with the slide job directly in front of the 4. Very clean on his part, and these guys are off and running. Great job to him. P5 for Edward Schur at the moment, and he's found his line. He's doing a great job down there. Kyle Benson trying to bring it down low, and we're on board with 37 of N&R Chevy. Started out 23rd, has moved up to 15th. We'll see if he can make up a couple of more positions, but so far he's looking pretty good out here as we're on board with him.
Another driver that is currently on the move. We're looking like N&R Chevy, who is +7. We're talking about Edward Schur, who is +10. But another driver +10 on the day is Jason Keffer. Jason Kepper in that 22 car. He was a lap down, or not a lap down, but he was involved in that accident earlier. Had to come in and pit. Looks like he used his fast repair, and since that restart has been currently on the move as he is working on the 41 of Justin Mons. Mons has fallen a little bit back, not a lot. He has moved up to 7th. He is currently in 9th position right now, so he's moved a couple of spots back from his highest point during this restart. But that 22 is moving forward through the field.
Absolutely, these guys looking really good out there. You can see they're gaining, putting the pressure on each other, just kind of hanging in there, trying to make their way around the track. A lot of time to make up, but again, lap 38 of 100, plenty to go. We're not even at the halfway point yet, so there's plenty of time. But man, oh man, Marcus Adams is still our leader way up ahead. He definitely knows what he's doing tonight. The car is just on a rail for him.
And we have a battle shaping up for second. Actually, it's over. Austin Reedy has lost that second position to Andrew Wisdom. And meanwhile, while they have been battling, Marcus Adams has absolutely pulled away. He has a lead of 2.44 seconds over the new second place car of Wisdom. So Adams has really found his groove here late in this green flag run. Pit stop should be looming for these drivers as we are looking to complete lap 39 of 100 tonight.
Wide a line of cars behind Marcus Adams, but they are way far back. But the train that he has behind him is very interesting if these guys can work together. I don't know that they're going to catch him in time enough for the next pit stop. He is just absolutely phenomenal out there tonight. We're here in Season 2 for Pure Speed Elite Series here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Ton of great times tonight. Only one caution so far. These guys are looking good. Slick conditions, but these guys seem to have been handling it very, very well so far.
Yeah, all the talk of this race being completely out of control, and these drivers have handled it magnificently. Only the one yellow, most of them holding a pretty wheel. The 11 looks like he's a little loose coming off of turn 4. Just tough track, tight track, old tires. Old tires you'd hope would tighten it up enough, but with the variable banking and the overall lack of grip in the track, I think it snap out from under you at any moment. But the 11, he wants to get new tires on this thing as he is looking at the car behind him. Brad Herman catching him, Edward Schur behind him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him winning last week, Austin Reedy. So we'll see if he can grab another win out here. But man, oh man, the talent out here is just amazing. But 6 is out here, currently sitting second, passed up Austin Reedy. We'll see if he can make a run at the lead here, as we've had 2 lead changes here so far tonight. But I know Andrew Wisdom is looking to have his first win in season 2. We'll see if he can make it happen.
See if he can make it happen, and right now he is staying pretty even. It was 2.4 seconds last 2 laps ago. It's 2.4 seconds now. It's 2.3 this time around. So he gained a tenth that previous lap. So Wisdom slowly but surely reeling in our leader, but not a lot of time here before that they get some fresh tires on it. And we've seen what that 31 can do with fresh tires and with medium tires. That the 31 is going to be tough to beat. 6 might need to be considering a little strategy. We heard about strategy socks, maybe some strategy socks, some shoes, pants, strategy everything might need to be thrown at that 31 car to beat him tonight.
Absolutely. A very interesting interview with Kyle Benson earlier. We'll see what he can pull out tonight. Looking good so far. Another quick shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you for being here tonight. Solar, I appreciate the kind words, and everyone tuning in. Really appreciate it. We're on board with Jaden Gimble in that number 20. Started out 16th. He's looking like he is in 18th at the moment. A little running solo at the moment. He's got the 41 of Mons ahead of him. Man, he made some nice run off of that corner bit.
He's and on fresh tires, I believe.
Okay.
Because his hood's back after it was gone last time we saw him. So I believe he came in, got that fast repair, got a new set of tires, and he is making up all the ground he can.
Yeah, he is a lap down. I was about to say, that is mighty impressive to have that run off the corner, but he definitely did hit pit road, and he is off and running. Unfortunately, a lap down. He's going to need a caution to come out to get back on the lead lap here. We'll see what he can do, but he's going to be catching up and making some moves on the guys ahead that have not made a pit stop yet.
Yeah, a lot of drivers in the middle of the field seem to have been making them. John Honeycutt has hit pit road. Brad Herman has hit pit road. Chandler Hayden currently on pit road. So some of the drivers in the middle of the field. And in our Chevy, looks like he's on pit road as he is dropping through the field. So currently, a lot of our drivers in the middle to back portion, but those drivers in the front, they're going to wait until the drivers they are racing against start to come to pit road for them to want to. We just saw the 9 get lapped on the racetrack, so move Brandon Gillis a lap down. Currently 14 cars on the lead lap, but we are in the midst of a pit cycle, so that number will fluctuate around as we count off the laps here. We're nearing the halfway point of this race.
We are nearing the halfway point, and our leader has now led 40 laps. He was our pole sitter and is still leading out there, so phenomenal job to Marcus Adams tonight in that number 31. Doing a great job. He's got a lot of experience out here on the track. We saw him a little uneasy as we first heard from him before the race happened. But so far, he has gathered things up, and he is just looking really great out there. No one is able to catch him yet, Jordan. I'm wondering if we can see the 6 or the 5 catch up to him once pit road has come and possibly another caution.
Wisdom had been lowering the lead. He had gotten down to 2.1 seconds, but that previous lap it fell to 2.3. So having to deal with a lap car or maybe a small wiggle in the car, lost 2 tenths there. The 31 has been really smooth. He's been really lucky with how he has caught lap traffic, and that has allowed him to maintain that lead exactly how he wants it. He wants to just run his pace, keep that lead all nice and big, and at 2.3 seconds, that's a solid lead to work with.
Absolutely, and you can see the consistency. He is running the same line, using that bottom seam as basically the line that he needs to run to keep it there. He is just very consistent on how he handles that. As he is coming up on traffic right here, you see the 88 on the high side of Doc Holliday makes his way around him on the inside, and he's got another car directly in front of him. Shouldn't slow him down too much. Doc Holliday allowed him to get by pretty seamlessly, so he is off and running with the number 6. He is 2.4 seconds behind, gaining back a little bit of that gap that he had. We'll see if he can kind of narrow that down yet.
saw the 4 of Kyle and Benson. He went off the pit road, so now some of our drivers higher up in the running order, starting to mosey on down to pit road. It's gonna be real curious to see when our leaders decide to come in. Adam's still out there, Wisdom's still out there, Austin Reedy. Currently, he's continuing his free fall a bit. Edward Scherer has gotten around him up from his 15th spot. He is currently in 3rd. Jason Keffer up from 20th. He's in 7th now. So a lot of these drivers working their way through the field. Pit stops looming, and this is a modestly tough pit road to get into. It looks like the 31 is giving a signal that we recognize from other racing games. I believe that he is going to come in this time around.
Absolutely. I do want to give a quick shout out to Cape. Thank you so much for the bits. I really do appreciate it. But Marcus Adams having no issue whatsoever coming onto pit road. And as Jordan mentioned, it can be a little tough getting on there. You can get pretty loose coming off with the speed that you are carrying. But you see Marcus Adams and the 6 directly behind him made their way on. They're going to go ahead and get fresh tires, full fuel, and they'll be off and running.
Well, it was tough for me, but there's a reason I'm in the booth and not out on the racetrack. As Austin Reedy, he is still out there. Matthew O'Brien currently has not pit, and Jason Keffer also making a couple of more laps. And you have to wonder if the way these drivers have stretched this out, we went green with about lap 10 or 11 maybe, and they have stretched out that tire window of 25 to 30 laps to about 40 laps here. So. Really impressive job of taking care of their stuff. Yeah, we went green on lap 9. So you kind of have to wonder if maybe some of these guys thinking about making it here all the way on this set of tires with this fuel. Gonna be real curious to find out how this all works out for these guys.
Interesting strategy, Jordan. We have the 11 of Austin Reedy. He is on pit road. Kelly Melanson coming off of pit road, it looks like, but Austin Reedy on the move from pit road. We're going to see how he comes out. It looks like Kelly Melanson on pit road. He's going to take full fuel and tires. We'll see what happens with these guys. A couple of guys exiting pit road, so we'll see what these guys can do, but our leaders are off and running as Richard Rico in that number 18. He's off a pit road exit also.
And currently, our one of our last drivers to come to pit road, Jason Kepper, up from 20th. He's going to lead a lap. I think he's about to come down to pit road right here. Nice, smooth entry. Get her woe down. Ooh, he looked like he was carrying a fair amount of speed on the pit road there.
It's a lot of speed.
He's going to come down to pit road. He's made a nice move to the field, and currently he's in a great spot. If my math is right, you should be able to make it here to the end of the race. If you were able to go 46 laps that previous run, you should be able to go to 45 here to the end of the race. So I imagine this is the last time a lot of our leaders, all of our leaders, supposedly, will hit pit road.
You know, if that's the case, I would imagine that these guys will not be battling a lot right now. They're going to try to stay on a line, try to save the tires, and try to make the tires last. I mean, you have to take a lot of care for these things in order to make them last. Otherwise, you will have to go in and pit again. We're going to see what strategy plays out for these guys, but man, oh man, interesting call, Jordan, and we'll see how it plays out for some of these guys. We're on board with the 85 of Brad Herman. He started out third. He is currently our leader at the moment. Looks like he's doing pretty good here, but the next car behind him is about 7.5 seconds back.
Yeah, he came in 11 laps ago, so he came in at lap 44, and as we are currently working lap 57, so a lot more, about 13 laps ago, I should say. But he used those those tires and that green flag racing to his advantage to make a pretty huge gap, running a lot faster lap times. But now he is at a deficit. We should see that lead shrinking, and he's also at a deficit with the strategy. The 85 currently, I don't see if he can go 65 laps or 55 laps, however many that is. I'm trying to do quick math in my head. 55, 56 laps. That's going to be really tough. I feel like, based on the window we were given, but they were able to stretch it to 45, so maybe 55 isn't out of the question.
Yeah, very interesting. But if he already had to go in and he just got out 11 laps ago, 12 laps ago, it's going to be very, very tight, and I don't see it working in the strategy. But again, as you said, you know, they've made it work so far. We'll see if they can make it happen again. Our top 3 is 85, the 6 of Andrew Wisdom, and the 31 of Marcus Adams. Oh, caution out. That is going to change a lot of strategy. Yeah, strategy is out the window here. Let's take a look at the replay. Kelly Melanson, we've seen him struggle just a bit tonight, and it looks like he is going to be one of the causes of the caution here. We'll see what happened with the 14. But nonetheless, lap 60, caution is out. There he is. He hit the white line there and just spun around. Very unfortunate for him. Homestead, tough track tonight. A lot of these guys are doing better than I imagined when I was out here running it. But so far, pretty darn good overall for these guys.
Absolutely. Still trying to figure out what the yellow was for. The 14 got into the wall. If maybe that was just a debris caution. A quick throw of the yellow there as the 14 was in the wall. The 18 looks like it's going to be the lucky dog. He is the first car lap down, so that'll put 15 cars on the lead lap for this run. That yellow flag throwing a wrench into the strategy of drivers like the 22 of Jason Kepper, who definitely would have been able to make it. He was a long way back in the running order, having stayed out as long as he did. He lost a lot of track position, but he was in a great spot as far as the strategy itself worked out. Marcus Adams has lost that position to Andrew Wisdom, but they're also currently in the midst of yellow flag pit stops. We'll see who currently beats them all off. That'll be the 85 of Brad Herman. And something that we have seen, Eliza, every pit stop, everybody is coming in. Everybody is coming in every time for 4 tires.
They sure are. Let's see if we can get Marcus Adams in here and speak to him on how his car's looking out here. But Marcus, it's Eliza in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
You had a dominating performance before that caution came out and pit stops were happening. How's your car feeling on the long run?
Feels good, but I run an extremely low brake bias, so I cannot get into the pits under green the way I would like. But other than that, fine.
We'll see how you do for the remainder of the race. 61 of 100. So I wish you luck, and hopefully the strategy we'll see on Victory Lane.
Thank you.
All right, that was Marcus Adams of the 31. Done a phenomenal job tonight. Led most of the laps, led 45 out of the 62 that we've had so far. So doing great. We have the 85 out there in front. We have the 02 of Chris Gutierrez doing a strategy call. He's going to lead a lap here, and we'll see how he does at the start of the green here tonight, Jordan.
Yeah, this will be the first time he's been up front, and yeah, this is going to be an away. We saw this last week. Jacob Locklear was one who stayed out under at the last restart we had. Restarted first. It didn't work out too well for him. I think he finished about 17th or so. But having that clean air, having that track position, having that ability to play defense and force the other cars to go around you, that's a good opportunity to have. The 0-2 seized on that opportunity, and we'll see if he can hold on as he is heading to pit road now.
Here he goes on to pit road. We've had 7 lead changes as the 0-2 hits pit road here, but very interesting tonight. A lot of strategies that were in play. This caution has completely changed that. There's going to be a lot more racing going on as they are all gathered up together. We'll see it as we head back to green. Lap 63 of 100. Plenty of racing to do. Still some strategy is going to be out there. So tire window, 40 to 45 laps I'm seeing now. Fuel window, 42. So yeah, I'm thinking that we're going to be good to go from now on, Jordan.
Yeah, I believe all these drivers are going to be able to go all the way. It's going to be 38 laps, 37 laps, 38 laps, including the yellow flag laps, I believe 39 maybe. And it'll be this will be a 37 lap sprint to the finish here as we go green at lap 64. So, yeah, I believe everyone's tires and fuel are not going to be an issue aside from wearing out your tires too early here on this run, and I imagine the intensity going to be ratcheted up. We have a lot of drivers all over the place. Austin Reedy has fallen all the way back to the 6th. Meanwhile, we have John Honeycutt up in 5th. We're about to go green here.
We are about to head back to green. These cars are getting lined up pretty close together as we are going back to green flag racing. We have the 85 of Brad Herman leading us off. Gets a great start so far. The 6 tucks in directly in front of that 31 saying, I'm going to get out in front of you while I can. And they are off and running, Jordan.
They are in a very, very tame start here. They're able to get single file, but in the back, the 50 gets really, really loose, loses a ton of positions. Move the 50 back as the 31, gets a good run on the 6, but the 6 is going to power down. The 31 gets really loose, is able to hold on to it. Both the 6 and the 31 look like they got on the gas a little earlier than they needed to, but the 31 is going to lose a ton of ground, while the 6 of Wisdom is falling into the hands of the 5 of Sure.
Yeah, a lot of positions lost in the 31 and the 50 as they were getting loose on these cold tires. They have to warm them up and take a little breather for these guys as they're trying to get up to speed and warm them back up. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom really holding on to his car right now, doing a nice job as he's trying to get that speed and momentum. The 85 doing a phenomenal job out there leading the field. Brad Herman, he is in the lead, has led 9 laps, started off 3rd. We'll see what he can do from here on out. Brad Herman, it looks like he's putting a little bit more of a gap over 2nd place, Jordan, but these guys are still off and running. But yeah, he's putting a little bit of gap on 2nd place.
Yeah, pretty evenly gapped throughout the top 5, and then we look back to the 31 of Marcus Adams as he's looking at the back of the 11 of Austin Reedy, trying to make up for that miscue early in this restart. The 11 trying to catch the 4 of Kyle Benson, so these 3 cars are coming together, the 4, the 11, and the 31 right now, trying to battle for that 4th position, as we're at a point in the race where track position means everything as the laps are winding down here.
Yeah, we saw on the board that Honeycutt was one of the ones fell back to 14th after starting in 5th from getting loose. Marcus Adams in that 31 trying to make his way back up as he is directly behind Austin Reedy in that 11 and the 4 of Kyle Benson. These guys are going to have quite the battle as they are trying to make their way back to the front. But so far, the 4 and the 11 just having at it. The 31's just going to hang back and say, you guys battle it out. I'll try to make up some time after you guys figure out where we're headed.
Yeah, right now, he's wondering, he's hoping one of them will win so that he can follow them through. The 4 and the 11 are giving him a bit of a roadblock, but the 4 of Benson able to hold off the 11 of Reedy, or keep Reedy in 5th place, Benson in 4th, with Adams stalking behind in 6th. Just trying to make it through, but the 11 of Reedy really backing up his corners. The 31 getting in just a little bit harder, I think, than he might have wanted to, and the 11 actually loses some ground there, even on exit, so maybe not the greatest of corners from last week's winner, as the 4 of Benson puts a little bit of ground on our 5th and 6th place car. Yeah,
meanwhile, Brad Herman still in the lead. He's got behind him 0.5 seconds back. That is going to be the 6 of Andrew Wisdom. And we have the 5 of Edward Sure behind him, sitting currently in 3rd. The top 3 guys are on the move. We'll see if they can gain some momentum and try to close that gap. But right now, they look pretty well even.
Yeah, we saw last run, the 5 of Edward Sure was able to work his way through the field, but then fell off a little bit as the laps finally wound down in that run. So I think he's taking a little more conservative approach to the beginning of this run. 30 laps still remain. That's plenty of time to make up ground, plenty of time to overdrive your car and feel the pain from doing so. So I think some of these drivers still trying to be conservative, but we still have a relatively heated battle for that 5th position. That's the closest battle inside of our top 5. Well, really that 4th, 5th, and 6th position is still your closest battle there between Benson, Reedy, and Adams.
Yeah, Austin Reedy in 5th, and we have Marcus Adams in 6th, about 0.2 directly behind him. A little bit of a contact with the wall, but these guys are still off and running. Marcus Adams, he was our leader, led 45 laps. Our new leader, the 85, looking to make his first win of the season. He would be our 3rd new winner of the season so far. We'll see if he can make it happen, but Marcus Adams and Austin Reedy looking to make their way back up there, along with the 4 of Kyle Benson.
Kyle Benson just running laps, playing a little bit of defense, holding on to these guys. Reedy and Adams having to work really, really hard to try to make up that ground. And yeah, that's not ideal. And they're in that dirty air. The car doesn't handle quite like they want. You have to work harder to make the car turn, to make the car do what you want. And you're on a slick track, so when your car isn't turning and the rear end is wanting to kick out, when you have a lot of input in the car that isn't turning, that isn't a great thing to have happen. But the 11, he's starting to make up a little bit of ground on that Ford, starting to attack. Reedy's starting to look under Benson. Benson looking to hold him off.
Yeah, you can see the 4 car running that high side a little bit more, trying to keep that air out there. 11 of Reedy directly behind him. These guys are just trying to find the line that works for them, that they can make work and try to gain up there to the leaders. But these guys are pretty well spread out, and we're going to see that, I feel like, for the remainder of the race. 75 of 100. I don't see these guys pitting for the remainder of the race. If we do, man, what a huge change for these guys, especially if it happens to be top 5, 6 leaders. Going to be very interesting, but these guys, if they're holding on to their tires, which it seems they are, they should be good to go.
The previous lap, the 31 got into the wall, almost got into the inside wall, had to save it, but he has lost a ton of ground to those drivers in front of him, plus probably put a little bit of damage on the right side of that car. So Marcus Adams would love a redo at this restart. Not sure he's going to get it as the field continues to spread out with 25 laps to go, but he is falling with a slightly damaged car into the clutches of the 89 of Cole Martin, and also the 20 of Jaden Gimble. We haven't seen much of him tonight. We saw him go a lap down after hitting early to fix his hoodless front end, and he has worked his way back up through the field as he is currently running in the 8th position.
Really great comeback for him tonight, but unfortunate story for Marcus Adams, as he was running really strong in that last run, but this one not so much. But look at Jaden Gimble, you called it right there. Started 16th. He's currently running P8. So great run for him in that Home Depot car. We'll see if he can make up a couple of more positions. Very talented driver out there. We'll see what he can do, as he's got Cole Martin in 7th, currently directly in front of him.
Cole Martin is looking at that 6th position, trying to find a line, running just about a half a car width higher than the 31, trying to find a little air to put on his nose, help that car rotate through the corner. The 89 now follows directly in the 31's tire tracks, and the 31 has been super loose, then tight, then loose again. He's been all over the place, and now with that right side damage, he's going to be just a little bit slower than he wants to be, but he's able right now currently fast enough to hold off the 89, as the 89 might have gotten the wall on quarter entry, trying to make up some ground on that 31.
Yeah, the 89 falling back just a little bit, and that's going to allow the guys behind him to catch him just a little bit. We'll see if they can make a move. But let's take a look at the battle for 4th, as we are calling it right there. We'll see what happens with it, but man, oh man, these guys have been battling throughout the field. Really, really cool to see. But Cole Martin currently sitting 7th, looking good so far, Jordan.
Yeah, and Austin Reedy has just taken that 4th position from Kyle Benson. Benson had to run back, opted to stay in line, not fight it anymore, not cost themselves any more time or tire wear percentage. So moved Reedy up into 4th, Benson back to 5th. He's got his set sight on Sure and Wisdom, who are about 3/10 separated from each other and about a 1.5 seconds ahead of Reedy.
Yeah, our top 3 guys pretty close together, but quite a large gap from 3rd to 4th. Andrew Wisdom in 6th, or Andrew Wisdom in the 6th car, looking pretty good. We've seen him have a strong run here tonight. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to catch the 85. He's had a strong run in this last part of the race. We'll see if he can hold on to it. I'm curious if some of these guys are just holding on to the tires right now and saving them to make a late run towards the lead here. It's just going to be very interesting, the strategy that these guys have. I'm assuming that these guys are putting it all out there. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose the lead. They don't want to fall too far back. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, they're definitely running the fastest pace they can to make it to the end with with the minimal time that it takes them. As the 85 continues to lead, we're coming around. We're going to be at 18 to go next time around. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom here, pictured trying to hold off the 5 of Edward Scherer, who is closing in just ever so slightly maybe on him, just a touch, maybe hundredths a lap, trying to follow in that 6's footsteps, trying to run him down. Sure, he started 15, was able to work his way up in the top 5, and has been a fixture there since that point. But he wants more than third. He wants second. He wants first. But he's got to start by getting around the 6 of Andrew Wisdom. And as equal as they look, that's going to be a tough task as we are coming around to 17 to go now. Liza?
17 to go, and we have Jason Keffer, who has moved into the top 10 with John Honeycutt just looking on the outside of that. We'll see what these guys are looking like, but so far, great run for the top 10 right now. We have Jaden Gimble out there directly behind him. Kepper has moved into 9th position, overtaking Jaden Gimble for that top 10 right there. So great job by these two. Jaden Gimble started 16th, currently sitting in 10th. These guys super loose in practice, so obviously have figured out something. As I say, it looks like Jaden Gimble got a little loose coming off that turn. They're holding on to it, Jordan.
Yeah, Gimble lost a little bit of ground here since we last looked at him. He had moved up pretty well into the top 10. Now he is currently the 10th place car. Jason Kepper, who has probably passed the most cars out of anybody tonight, worked his way through the field, then got a yellow that he was involved in, worked his way through the field again, and then looked like he was in the position to benefit from the way the strategy from the green flag run was going to work out. But the way it worked out, a yellow came out. He was the last car on the lead lap, and now he's working his way through the field for yet another time tonight. But kudos to Kepper, who has been able to pass a lot of cars currently in 9th. As we're looking at Brad Herman, our leader, 15 laps to go, 14 and a half to be completely specific. He still is holding on to a comfortable lead of a second and a half, a little bit over. And he's looking like he's going to be really tough to run down, running a really smooth pace, a really smooth line, and growing his lead. He grew it by a 10th there. So he's looking absolutely like the car to beat for the most obvious statement of the night.
14 laps left to go, and this is his 30th lap led here tonight. I know that we had Marcus Adams, who is about 40 to 45 laps led tonight, so he's coming up on that shortly. I don't know if he's going to make it there tonight. 14 to go, so we'll see if he can make his first win of the season here. The 31 of Marcus Adams, currently sitting P6. He's got his eyes on the guy directly in front of him. I do believe that is the 4 of Kyle Benson. We'll see what he can make happen, but man, oh man, these guys pretty darn close together. You can see Austin Reedy in that 11, 2 cars ahead. It's going to be tight, and the race is coming down to the wire with 13 to go. And see if they can make some moves happen.
Currently, the best battle of the lead lap cars is between the 41 of Justin Mons and the 48 of Michael York. Those two side by side going down the back straight, going into turn 3. The 41 able to prevail using that outside lane. So the 41 of Mons in 11th, York in 12th. But those two right now fighting it out, and right now that's the closest battle amongst the top 13 cars, as we currently have 13 on the lead lap. Some great racing all around the racetrack. A lot of tight, not a lot of tight, but a lot of loose drivers just trying to race the racetrack right now more than anything else. The 48 really sails it in there, gets in deep, gets the apron, loses the grip, and he's going to lose some track position to that 41.
Man, if there's ever a time somebody sent it, he sent it into that turn. Managed to hold on to it, but very, very close. You see Justin Mons in that 41 and that 48 behind him, trying to make up some time, but with that, hitting that apron like that, he's going to fall back just a little bit, lose a little bit of time. You see Jaden Gimble in front of him in that 20. These guys are still off and running as we are coming down to 10 to go. Jaden Gimble trying to make up some more spots. We'll see if he can do it. I'm very curious. Are we going to see Brad Herman in that 85? Will we see him as the winner tonight? It's coming down to the wire. We have Wisdom directly behind him, but I say directly, he is 2 seconds back. Will we see him make up any time, or is this Brad Herman's race?
He is under fire from the 5 of Edward Scherer. Scherer has run him down as Brad Herman has checked out on the field. Right now, the 6 and the 5 is going to be your best battle inside of the top 3, and that's going to be a heated one as we're at 9 to go. 9 and 8.5 is we work the back straight here. The 5 is definitely a little bit faster than that 6 is.
Yeah, Edward Scherer just working all behind him, trying to put the pressure on him, saying, I'm here, I'm making a move, and I'm going to try to pass you. We'll see if he can make it happen, but man, oh man, Edward Scherer looking very strong out there. Oh, as he gets a little loose. Man, oh man, barely loses any time, but it was just enough that he's going to have to stay behind him for now.
Yeah, you get that car up in front of you, get to his rear bumper, and you can taste it. You can taste that position. You get on the throttle maybe a little bit earlier, a little bit harder than you want to, and that rear end disagrees with your judgment, and that car loses that grip. A really good job of hanging on to it. He was able to hold position there, but that little bit of a bobble looks like it's thrown him out of his rhythm a little bit. The 6 growing that lead just a little bit, extending it, I should say. Now 2/10, but the 5 going to try to fight back, looking for clean air, running about a lane lower, a full car width, I should say, lower than that 6 car. As we're down to 7 to go, we'll be at 6 to go at the line. The lap's ticking down. 6 and the 5. We're on board with the 4 here of Kyle Benson running in 5th.
Kyle Benson running in 5th. He sees Austin Reedy ahead, but not enough time possibly to catch up to him. He's got to be a man on a mission right now as we are 6 to go. The battle of the night so far is going to be for P2 as these guys are really trying to overtake each other. That is allowing our leader of the 85 of Brad Herman to get away. They are now 2.5 seconds back. They lost 2/10 just in one lap as they are trying to make something happen as the 5 of Edward Scherer is going for P2 and the 6 is trying to get away. These guys are going to battle it out, and that is just good news for our current leader of the 85. He's saying battle out. We have 5 to go. I'm bringing this home.
As Brad Herman sets off into the distance, the battle is between Andrew Wisdom and Edward Scherer for this 2nd position. And the 5, he is looking all over the place, looking for some clean air. He's a little bit faster than the 6, but since he got to his rear bumper, he is stalled out. And the 6 has been able to maintain that position. The 5 trying to find different lines, running up a lane higher now than that 6 was, and that's going to cost him some position. So trying to search for some grip, some air, some turn out of that 5 car as he's trying to pass the 6 for 2nd place, but only 4 to go, only 7 more turns as they are coming to 3.5 to go. The 85 well off in the distance. Right now the battle is for 2nd.
As mentioned in chat, 85 has checked out. These tires are screaming, you guys. They are not happy. They want these guys to go into pit road. They have to stay out if they want a chance at this race for a top 5. We have our leader, Brad Herman, who has increased the gap once again to 2.7 for our 2nd place behind, now 2.8 behind. So he is just doing a phenomenal job. He's got a great long run car. This is his race to lose right now as we have 3 to go. Behind the 6 car of Andrew Wisdom, we have the 5 of Edward Scherer, and he's falling back just a little bit too. We'll see what happens with these guys, but with 3 to go, Jordan is coming down to the wire.
Yeah, with 3 to go, the show is the 85 of Brad Herman with an excellent restart, excellent strategy, or lucky strategy, I should say. One of the first cars to hit pit road. that put him out in front of everybody when the yellow flag came out after the green flag cycle of pit stops, and since then he has walked away from everybody. The 85 currently leading by 2.9 seconds as he comes off the corner as he is about to take the white flag.
Drew Wisdom in second, 3.1 behind our leader. 1 to go. Brad Herman is going to try to bring this home. First win of the season. We've had John Honeycutt. We've had Austin Reedy. Can we bring Brad Herman home? It looks like he's going to try to make his way past Doc Holliday in the 88.
And Doc Holliday.
Very interesting. We're going to try to get him directly around him, but man, that's going to hold him up. I don't know if it's going to be enough to make second catch up to him as he gets
goodness,
loose.
he's loose down there. Wow.
Let's bring him home. We're going to have Brad Herman, our leader, after an interesting last lap. Great job to Brad Herman. Fantastic run for him. Interesting last lap there, Jordan.
Yeah, that's the scariest thing whenever you come upon a lap car and they don't commit to a side. Holiday ran about a full car width, maybe about 0.9 car width away from the wall. The 85 had to make a guess on which lane he should take if he was going to let him go to the outside or the inside. He opted to just stay behind him, and that almost cost him without it, not going into the corner as hard and going in there on that lower part of the track. Almost lost grip. A scary moment for the 85 that he didn't need to be put in, but otherwise a solid race, an excellent win from that 85 car. He's going to go do some well-deserved burnouts, and yeah, good job to Brad Herman.
Absolutely. We have Brad Herman in the booth right now as he is celebrating. Brad, great run for you tonight. Man, oh man, what a run. Let us know what was going on with your strategy and how did you work that out tonight?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I don't know. I figured if it was going to go green there, I was going to try to short pit and do a two-stopper, and I ended up getting way ahead because I was on fresher tires than everybody, and the caution came out, so we all came back down pit road, and I changed up my line there once I got away from the leaders after the restart and really just had a long run car going, and it came to me really.
Yeah, you had a phenomenal long run car here. We just saw you just gapping the field the longer the race went on. I don't know if you saw them battling behind you, but I'm sure you were fine with it as you were just moving along and increasing that gap from them.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on it. I didn't know if I was burning my stuff up too much or if I was playing it the right way, but apparently I was doing a good job.
You did a phenomenal job. Great job tonight. Congratulations on the win. We find him in victory lane here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. All right, Jordan, you want to give an interview to our second place out here?
Yeah, here with Andrew Wisdom, started second, finished second. So overall, a very strong race. Talk about your night for us.
I think we had a pretty good race going there. I think we probably made the right call. I think if the race stayed green, I think it was going to be pretty close on fuel there. But once that caution came out, I think it was just all about track position. I couldn't do a whole lot in the dirty air behind Brad without heating my tires up too much. So just I think I cooked him a little bit too much on the early run trying to get to his bumper. But overall solid day. I think I maybe gained a couple points on Reedy there. So overall good day.
Overall, a really strong day for our second place finisher, Andrew Wisdom. Another solid finish on the season, the early season. Yeah, that's going to help him out in the points.
Absolutely. We have Edward Schur in the number 5. He's going to round out our podium finish here. Take us through how the final caution possibly changed your strategy and how that worked out for you.
I don't know about certainly working out, but it kind of helped me a little bit on the end of the run for fuel-wise. I mean, at beginning-wise, I was going to be able to hopefully try to save fuel, but luckily with the caution coming out, I didn't have to worry about it in the end. But like Andrew was saying, it was just tough getting by in the end there with between heating up the tires and the dirty air. The dirty air was really a factor tonight. It was hard to pass a lot. There's a lot of adjustments I had to make personally on how to drive this track. I've been driving it for the last 2 days, and between what you used to run for setup wise and then the setup, it was a lot different than what I was used to driving, so I had to personally make adjustments with it. But overall, between qualifying all the way in the back and screwing up qualifying, I'm happy with a third place any day of the week. I mean, it's a good points day for all the 5 crew and everybody, so I'm really happy with how that turned out.
Great job on P3 here tonight. Phenomenal overall for everyone. This is Pure Speed Elite Series Season 2 here, Round 3 at Homestead, Miami Speedway. Next week, we will hit the track at Las Vegas. It'll be another fun one. Hopefully not as loose conditions as they were tonight. These guys had a great race, and thank you guys all